I'm Joe Duffy for Winners and Whiners. It's exciting. This is my first video I've done for the Winners and Whiners channel in quite a few months, and we got the Sunday night football, the Green Bay Packers, and the Pittsburgh Steelers preview. I'm going to have a free pick. I'm also going to look at some prop bets for that game, and we're going to talk about what have been the best teams to bet on and against this year in the NFL. All that and more, all kinds of insights, super systems, betting splits, and a whole heck of a lot more. And just a hint, the betting splits are a little bit more interesting in this game than they are in most games. And how appropriate I'm on Winners and Whiners, because I've been in this business since 1988, was handicapping and betting before that. I do a lot more winning than whining, but this year it's been a little bit tougher. The whining, it's as bad of a stretch in those 4 decades of handicapping and betting that I've had for heartbreaking losses, and I draw a distinction between the terms heartbreaking losses and bad beats. That's another story altogether, but avoid it. Missouri State looked like they were going to choke away that game. They did hold on and win in overtime and cover. So I'm now 9-2 in college football. Let me make it clear, I never will handicap nor make bets based on superstition. But as far as when I'm watching the games, my confidence level can be affected by how things have gone lately. Well, it looks like we've certainly turned the corner as far as the bad luck for sure. Finally winning a close game or two along the way, and 4+ decades of winning. You can get it from me, Joe Duffy, at Winners and Whiners. By the way, college football game of the year. Game of the year. 9-2 last 11. College football winning for nearly 40 years publicly. Get that college football game of the year for Saturday. Steelers and the Packers. And of course, maybe you're watching this on Sunday. Plenty on Sunday as well. The opening line saw Green Bay minus 343.5. The look-ahead line, the Pack, minus 2.5 and 44.5. Now the best lines. Where do I go? You know it. Odds Logic is tremendous. If you're not a client of Odds Logic, you're missing out. Always shop for the best lines possible. To be very clear, whether you're betting $10,000 a game and got the best picks in the world from me, or whether you're just doing a hunch bet at $10 per game, always important to shop for the best line, and Odds Logic is tremendous for that. Also, where I get betting splits, but I also like to corroborate those betting splits as well. But again, the best lines available, Green Bay minus 3, 110, or Pittsburgh plus 3 at minus 104. When you shop around for those totals, over 45, minus 109, under 45.5, minus 110. By the time you watch this, pretty good chance changed a little bit. Check Odds Logic for the latest. The splits, 70% of the bets, 55% of the money is on the Steelers. This is significant because the public tends to bet favorites. The public is actually liking underdogs here. And as I said, Odds Logic is a tremendous product, but it's only been around for like a year or two. There are certainly some sources I've been using for public betting for years before that. I love to corroborate it when all my offshore sources, Vegas, stateside, and I even have some connections with some outlaw lines, they are all saying that the public is betting on the underdog here. And, when the public loves underdogs, that's usually a pretty good fade. 70% of the bets, let's talk about the totals. 59% of the tickets, but only 27% of the money is on the under. A lot of people believe when the bets and the money are opposite, you go with the money, and then therefore, based on that theory, the sharp money would be on the over. Pittsburgh this year, they're 3-3 against the spread, minus 1.2 points per game margin of cover. Green Bay is 2-4. 2-4-1. They're 2-4 with a minus 1 margin of cover. Steelers have gone over 4-2 by 7.3 points per game. That's the third largest margin in the NFL. So they've been much higher scoring than the odds makers have expected this year. Again, their games are going over by an average of 7.3 points per game. Now, Green Bay is 3-3 to the over-under, but they've gone over by an average of 1.7 points per game. Now, of course, all the talk in this game is about Aaron Rodgers playing against the Green Bay Packers. And I've even already seen a few people saying that Rodgers is going to be a little bit more motivated. They are going to bet on Rodgers because he's going to be fired up for this game. I got news for you. Rodgers is a guy who, it definitely seems when you read all the tea leaves, he was respected as a player. I don't think there are that many people that like him. He's a weird dude. And I think the Packers would be every bit as happy to dominate Rodgers. They're going to be every bit as fired up as Rodgers are. So you're talking about 11 guys on one side plus the guys that rotate in. I think the entire Green Bay defense, the entire Green Bay team is going to be every bit as motivated as just that one quarterback is. So if anything, it's a wash. And I think you could almost argue a slight edge for Green Bay as far as that quote-unquote intangible is concerned. Sportsline has the Green Bay Packers winning 24-23. However, they have the Steelers winning 49% of the time, and that's where we want to talk about EV. They're one of the many simulators that I use, but I've seen plus 150 out there. If you can get Pittsburgh at plus 150, the break-even point is 40%. So that gives you a pretty good EV there, and at least if you're going to blindly, and again, I wouldn't suggest you ever blindly bet anything, but according to Sportsline, the Steelers on the money line are an excellent value. Action Network is Green Bay minus 2.3 and 45. Massey has the Cheeseheads winning 24-21. The Packers games this year are averaging 47.1 points per game. The Steelers are averaging 48.3 points per game, yet the total is only right around 45. Now, one of my old adages is, well, two of them, they're related. Use the odds maker's knowledge against them. And when a line or a total doesn't make sense, it makes dollars. So this, based on the points for and points against of each team, it looks like the posted total by the odds makers is allowed. So the knee-jerk reaction is, oh my God, this total's too low. You got to bet the over, right? No. Use that odds maker's knowledge against them. When the line appears to be too low based on the points for and points against of each team, bet the under. The odds makers are telling you that these teams, their offenses have overachieved and or the defenses have underachieved. Use the odds makers' knowledge against them. When we compare a math line, quite frankly, using that formula to the odds, we go with the odds maker's statement. And in fact, I have a very specific system using what I just explained to you that goes under 160 or 1680, 1333, and 67. Again, favoring the under. Now, again, I'm transparent. By the way, it's election season, at least here in Georgia, the local elections, and that magic word is transparency, even the neighboring counts. Everybody who's running for council, everybody who's running for mayor, they use the word transparent, probably in your local elections. I'm going to be transparent. That particular angle hasn't been as good the past 2 years. It's made you and me a fortune over the years, or me and all my clients a fortune over the years. Less so the past 2 years. That's why it's frankly not a premium play, but it's done so well long term. My official free pick is to go with the under. Once again, my official free pick is to go with the under. I got a wise guy play on the side. And if you're watching this early enough, I know I have I don't even have my exact portfolio in front of me. Big NFL portfolio for Sunday, including a wise guy play on this side. And it's Joe Duffy's picks at winners and whiners. All right, we have some props. According to some of the models we use, the best bets, Jalen Warren under 14.5 rushing attempts, and Jordan Love under 28.5 passing attempts. Now, of course, prop lines are pretty darn fluid, to be honest with you. Hopefully, by the time you watch this, you'll still be able to grab those. Who have been the best teams to bet on this year? And this would be based on what I talk about, the margin of cover. We've got 4 teams that are actually 5-2 against the spread, but the big difference is their margin of cover. Indiana Jones and the Colts, covering by an average of 10.9 points per game. Other teams with 5-2 records, but not quite as good margin of cover, would be Seattle, New England, and Detroit. Houston, a little bit of an anomaly. They get a losing record against the spread, but yet they have a plus margin and the margin of cover. And Kansas City, got to give them credit. Even though it's tough to get good value on Kansas City, they've been a good team to bet on this year. 5 best teams to bet against, or the worst margin of cover team, not surprisingly, Baltimore. 1-5 this year. Las Vegas, yeah, that's almost every year. Miami, surprising maybe. It seems like they have a worse spread record than that, but they've been getting blown out. They've got the 3rd worst margin of cover, but if they actually cover this week, they'll be 500. And there you can see Tennessee and Cincinnati. Of course, Cincinnati, extenuating circumstances there, but they've been a terrible spread team. Again, please, by the way, like, comment. I should say that at the beginning. Please like my videos. That tells me, and it frankly tells the search engines you want more stuff from me. I have all the information. I've been in this business a long time. I have every single metric, weigh it. Get my picks at Winners and Whiners, Joe Duffy's Picks. Winners and Whiners, please like this video right now and also subscribe. Here's another winning pick.